Round 1. Fight.
Heroes never die.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
I used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee.
Power, sex, power. They both come down to one thing.
Hungry Gamers.
Hello, and welcome to episode 95 of The Hungry Gamers. I am your incredibly humble host, Saleem the Dream, and I am joined today by the two greatest hosts that could ever be on this show, Miss Ally Hart, and of course our dear friend from the other side of the country, Nato Jane, Mr. Nato himself. Hello everybody, how are we doing?
This is going to be chaos. This is absolutely going to be chaos. Dad's not here.
And I'm back.
Another,
Chaos incarnate
somehow
is
Nato, he snuck in somehow.
We absolutely have replaced Brendan today. He's somewhere on a work trip.
Yeah.
Always on business trips. He's always
Probably another
always
ping pong
away.
show.
What was it? Pop.
I don't know how he did the noise. I can't do
He
it.
did it really well. He did it like someone who's seen too many of those shows. I must
There,
say.
and there's Nato.
Never seen one in my life. I don't know what you're talking about.
Nato, how are you, mate?
I'm doing excellent. Finished work, home, showered, and ready to talk some video games.
Ready to
Video
talk some
games.
video games. What time is it over there? Where are you?
It is. I'm in Perth, and it's only 5:30 in the afternoon.
Wow,
Oh, jeez.
We're here in Sydney. It's 8:30. It's almost
Yeah.
bedtime for Ally.
Yeah.
Ha, ha, ha. Yeah, it's true. It's really true.
Guys, what have you been doing? Is that how Brendan usually leads in? What have we been doing? What have we been
Yeah,
playing?
pretty much. I think you're doing really well with the host role here.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to emulate him a bit too much, though. I'm going to try and maybe
Nah,
put my
make it
own-
Yeah.
make it your
Yeah.
own. Feel
That's
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got some notes for him. I just never give them to him. Maybe I'll just do my own thing now. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, now's your time to shine.
What are we doing? What are we playing, Ally? It's been all of 3 days since I last spoke to you, even though it probably seems like 4 months between shows at the moment.
That's a nice little soft stab right there. Unfortunately, not much. I've been just still playing PUBG. Unfortunately, on the reg, pretty much Rachel, B-Man's Rachel, she's been hosting her custom games, and we have been flooding in Team Chaos. So last night it was me, Seppi, Benny, and Nasi, and by golly, there's already some videos out on the monstrosity that we called Teamwork, that came from those games. But I mean, we have fun, so pretty much don't ever do a custom match where all you have is grenades, because friendly fire is inevitable.
It sounds awesome.
It's fun.
That's with Card Plays herself.
Mm-hmm.
Are you in on this, Nato?
Yeah, but as we talked about just before the show, my missus is here at the moment, so we've been doing things and catching up with people, and also it was my birthday a couple of weeks back, and my family have been bugging me to have a family birthday dinner, so I had to go down to my parents last night so I missed out. But I'm usually deep in the chaos of that PUBG-ness with all
That's
the...
pretty true, yeah. It's usually fucking Nato and Nasi doing some chaos between each other, not being
Nasi's a
helpful
gun.
at all. Nasi is chaos personified.
But he also has the skills to back it up as well.
Well,
Yeah,
he
he's
does,
really
and
good.
that's the thing about him, is that he can be the most useless player in the world, but you still know that he is good at it. So he gets him by, I guess. But he'll ride in on a bike in the middle of a friggin' showdown between 5 teams and not care. So, but
And
I
take
think
them all
that's
out too, no doubt.
probably, yeah, knowing him. But I think that's the reason why I play PUBG now. I don't ever go for the chicken dinner. I just go for the most screwed up
Fun.
round. Yeah. Pretty
For the
much.
lols, you might say.
One might say I do it for the lols. Yes.
Do you you were just saying before the show, Nato, and I was reading a little bit as well, the cheaters. All the cheaters in PUBG
Yeah.
at the moment. Do you guys run
it's
into them?
not even affecting the players anymore. The devs itself of we're gonna have to cancel all our updates that we had planned, like our timeline that we were about to release to our like audience, we've scrapped that now because 100% of our effort is going into trying to get rid of these cheaters out of there.
It's so weird, the cheaters. They're not, like, especially in these custom games where the hosts can actually watch everyone.
Yeah.
They just don't give a shit. Sorry. Yeah. No, they don't give a shit. They're shooting people from across the map with a shotgun and doing a headshot. Like,
yeah, we watched a person in Rachel's game the other night. Like because she had already died, so somebody was in her Twitch chat was like, "Hey, I think this person is cheating." So she changed view to watch him, and yeah, we were watching him scoping people
kills
from across the map, and 30 kills by the end of the game he got. And then his team kind of figured out what he was doing and like team killed him at the end. So he didn't win, but yeah, during a custom match where you don't earn any battle points or anything during the game, people are still coming in and trying to wreck everybody's fun.
It reminds me of like the good old days where there was like hitbots in like CS 1.6 and stuff, and every time you'd play someone, you just like throw your mouse at your computer monitor. I thought we were past that. Obviously, like, I don't play PUBG all that much, and I don't know why, but in my head, we live in 2018 where like cheaters just literally don't get like a foot in the door in competitive play in any game. But like in PUBG, are they still? By the way, they still technically in beta or whatever?
Yeah.
No, they're
Like
1.0 now.
But I gotta say,
1.0.
one of my favorite things is to watch online, like, people getting banned from games. Like, some people do video compilations. But CSGO, like, in competitions, people get banned, and it's for cheating. And I'm like, how do you get to, like, competitive level with cheating? How does that happen?
Yeah. You know what's scary about that? There's gambling on CSGO.
Yeah.
Like, as in this team wins.
Yeah, you can place like bets on legitimate betting sites like in Australia, like TAB and Sportsbet and stuff. Like the same things you go to put like a punt on the footy. You can have a punt on CSGO teams.
You're betting on children.
Yeah, you could bet on Overwatch and all that as well. Like the Overwatch League now is fully bettable.
You're betting on kids. Like, what the hell?
Well,
Welcome to the Hunger Games.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh shit! That's exactly what it is.
It's happening.
And you can send donations in on Twitch as well.
Yep.
Oh my god!
It's the Hunger Games.
Yeah. This is
it.
the world we live in now, Ali. This is
awesome. I'm gonna
who
put a
gamers
stupid
are.
hairdo on and wear flamboyant clothing. This is great.
But I wonder if, like, because now Fortnite's technically the leader now, so I wonder if a lot of these cheaters are going to start flowing over into Fortnite now because it's the number one.
Well, you've got to have a means to cheat. Like,
Yeah.
if you can't actually do it, then surely that makes it less attractive an option. I think, I don't know why, but I'm just assuming that PUBG just looks easy to cheat in. Don't get me wrong, I have no idea how they do it.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's just like bots you can get, or there's,
It's just
I don't know, something you could
aimbots
run in
and
the
stuff
backyard.
and see-through walls and homing bullets and stuff. But I'd say, like, it should be very easy to translate that stuff over to Fortnite. Because, like, you just, like, the game is written different, but there's things you're still trying to accomplish, like see-through walls and and all that, like, should be able to go over there. So I wonder now that Fortnite's finally jumped ahead of PUBG, whether a lot of the cheaters will start going on to the number one streaming
That's a good point.
site.
I swear that Fortnite once upon a time had a cheating issue, but then
Yeah.
I feel like it died down, so maybe they took care of the problem. Like,
I don't know, because it seems like their devs are putting a lot into the game itself, so maybe they're not putting as much time into looking after their backdoor system, so maybe this
For
might be the
PUBG.
time.
I'm gonna
Fortnite.
put my own take on this whole hosting thing now and introduce something called, like, I don't know, think of like a spiffy name for it, but like Saleem's quick questions.
Yep.
What was the last game that you guys cheated in?
cheated.
Yeah, what was the last game you cheated in, Ali?
Well, how are we defining cheating here?
Yeah.
Any sort of
Like
violation
putting in
of
a
the game.
code
Yeah, anything, even single player games. It's a quick question, Ali. Quick answers. Come on.
Well,
I'm
assuming it was Sims because I'm a materialistic girl and I want to have the best of everything. So I would be putting in those money codes so I can have that mansion. I can have the best of everything. And my girl doesn't have to go to work.
My girl doesn't have to go to work.
She don't have to work for nobody. She can have her mansion. Yeah, you do the cheat for more money and just keep on doing more money.
In Sims 2 doing the cheat where you send your sim into the shower and then you go into build mode and move the shower and you can see your sim naked.
Damn.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
But you don't even need to do that now. Like, have you seen the modding community for Sims now? Like, there's like sex mods and everything.
Really?
It's insane.
I need to go back to play Sims.
Oh, Kotaku did an article 4 months ago about all of the sex mods that are and how much money the people modding those things are making because they're selling them they're not doing them for free. They're like selling them and they're making a ton on sex mods for Sims.
I need to look into this. This sounds so interesting.
What about you, Nato? Last game you cheated in?
Actually, mine's sort of recent, but it's an old game. On the emulator of Pokemon Red and Blue that you could get on the 3DS, definitely did the rare candy cheat to get level 100 Pokemon so I could bring them over to my current Pokemon games. So that was good.
Ah, dude, that's bad. But they don't have the same stats. I think they have
no, because it's harder to control the background stats in that game in the old versions. While the new versions you can do it pretty easy.
Nice one.
What about you, Steam?
Yeah.
I don't cheat in video games.
I'll believe that for a second.
Honest man in the world. No, it was Crash Bandicoot, and it was pretty recent as well. But it was like I was playing a ROM version of the original Crash Bandicoot game, and there's like this cheat you can do to unlock all of the stages, and that's what we did. Yeah, and just went through it.
Is that like one of those codes where you you have to do the sequence like for Aladdin where it was A B B A B B A B B A start or something like that?
Damn.
It was that, and if that's the actual Aladdin cheat code, Ali, I think it is. I think they've got to send you a free copy.
BBA start.
What does that get you in Aladdin?
Next level.
Next level.
And whenever it got to the carpet ride stage where you had to go up, down, and it was going really fast.
Skip that.
Skipped it. Oh, and the lava stage, skip that.
Nato, what have you been doing lately aside from being the world's happiest birthday boy / boyfriend?
I've obviously been playing PUBG. The other weekend was the next scale test for Sea of Thieves, so got back into that just to test it because another group of friends, I hadn't been able to line up timelines to play with them, so finally got to play some time with them. It was really cool because I think they were trying to scale test the servers, because usually when we've loaded in that we hardly ever see a boat, but this weekend when we played, we were running into 5 boats in the same area, and we were having 4-on-4 boat battles, and it was amazing.
I was seeing that a lot on Twitch. Yeah,
it was really cool. So got to see a lot more of the PvP side of that game, where the last couple of times we had to play it, Ali knows this, that I had to force people to try and find a boat to try and hunt down because...
No, that is you just causing chaos as you do. We had a boat full of fucking treasure and you're like, let's ram this other boat.
You gotta not be predictable, Ali. They're like, they're definitely gonna take those things back, and I was like, wrong, crashing.
No.
Yeah.
I think it's more that Nato just embodies the hungry gamers motto of #stay hungry. He's hungry for it.
Because they might have a more chest.
Oh, sorry. I thought he was going to embody the whole Sam mentality of Lone Wolf.
No. No, there can only be one. That's like Highlander. But
right.
But I do appreciate Nato's cutthroat tenacity.
Yeah. Well, because with every next stage of the beta, they kind of reset all your stats and all your money and all that. So I got to the point where I was like, who cares about collecting cash? Let's test some other other parts of this game.
Speaking of that, I jumped on and I lost sexy Antonio Banderas.
Yeah.
What the fuck? So I had to turn into Sexy Snake, but
This was your character. Sorry, I was wondering what we were talking about there for a second.
Sorry, people that maybe pay attention to the podcast or played or watched a stream. I was Sexy Antonio Banderas, and he was always looking good. And then when I loaded up the game this weekend, I had to choose between a bunch of characters. I could not find Sexy Antonio Banderas, so I chose Super Sexy Snake.
Yeah,
as in Metal Gear.
I don't like. I love and hate the character creator they have and their reasoning for it, because like it's not like a standard one where you get to redo all the face, Sam. It's like you get an 8 selection of pirates. If you don't like them, you hit the Y. It gives you another random set of pirates to choose from, and that's how you make your character for the game. But then they do have like aesthetic stuff, so you can put mustaches and hats and beanies and whatever you need.
It kept on giving me old people.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's like, because they want you to play a pirate. They don't want to play you in that world. So they want you to roleplay properly as a pirate. That's what they're sticking to of why they've done it. I think it was on a IGN Xbox podcast where they had the developer in, and that's he was explaining, well, that's the reasoning they were doing those kinds of things. But I don't know. I still wish I could just customize my guy.
Yeah.
I just want my bandanas.
Yeah. I always feel like it's missing something if you have very limited customization options.
Yeah.
Especially when you're given the option to customize your character, but you've got like 3 presets or something like that.
Yeah.
It just seems like,
just imagine a whole bunch of presets and that's all you get to choose from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it seems like an infinite amount of presets, so you just keep hitting Y to get 8 new pirates, 8 new pirates, 8 new pirates, because it went from like a whole bunch of old fat people to a whole bunch of like women, and then it was like skinny people, and then I got like a mixture of this old lady that was like really skinny and tiny, and I was very close to picking her because I was like, could you imagine a pirate like that out in the seas?
Well, what if you just like went with your first option? Like, what if that's what you do? I think that's what you should do.
Yeah. I think that's
random.
I got a fat old lady.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I think that's what their whole point is. That's what they want you to do, to just pick the first one that they give you. But who knows?
Nope.
And what else have I keep playing Divinity because it was easily the best game of last year. If Divinity Original Sin, if nobody knows what it is, because it was a small indie game, Kickstarter game. Even the second one, it's like D&D as a video game, and like I'm greatly in love with it. Apart from that, it's nearly one of the best RPGs I've played in the last 10 years, I'd say.
Clearly you didn't play Final Fantasy 15.
It's easily better than that, like 100%.
Disagree.
The disgust on Sam's face.
Fine.
But on top of like the single player and the multiplayer they have in that game, they also have this other mode called what is it called now? It's like a dungeon master mode where they give you nearly the engine of the game to start building your own campaign and game inside the game. And the last couple of days, I'm trying to now try and morph a couple of my real life D&D campaigns into the game and try and build them in there, where you can bring 4 more of your friends in and they get to play the game while you dungeon master them and make them roll dice and play the game. And also they still play it because the battle style of that's kind of like XCOM, where it's like grid down tactical combat, so it plays exactly like you play a battle in D&D as well. So I think they actually have the developers have the base starter campaign that comes with the current edition of D&D already built into that game, just as a showpiece of like, here's how you do it. So I am trying to build something just to see if I can play with some friends and all that, and that's kind of what I'm building at the moment, or just playing the single player again.
That's so sick, dude. Saleem's quick question number 2. Did you play Baldur's Gate?
Yeah.
Yes!
It
fucking awesome game.
It actually, the developers, like, it's probably the best version of that since the original Baldur's Gates. Like, it plays exactly the same. It's same, like, because Baldur's Gate is one of the, like, for anyone out there that doesn't play D&D, is actually one of the major towns that is in the world of D&D, and that's what Baldur's Gate's based off, D&D.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
As I die.
Yeah.
Full of, like, so many nerdy facts.
Yeah. I just love
Awesome.
D&D. But
Yeah, I was about to say he's a
Yeah.
big D&D
yeah,
nerd.
but so it's all just based around D&D, and it plays exactly like Baldur's Gate. So you just imagine as like a Baldur's Gate 3. It's amazing.
But,
Makes sense.
but way better.
Oh, like a ton better.
Nice one, man.
Yeah.
Is that it? What else?
You've been playing. He was playing Siege a lot.
Oh,
I noticed that. And
God,
he's trying to rope us all into
Yeah,
it as well,
Siege.
which I don't mind.
Sorry, yeah.
I've wanted to play it.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, I forget about I play Siege all the time. So, one of my other podcasts that I do, a whole bunch of them, I think 2 of them got addicted to Siege, like, sometimes last year, and they used to play alone by themselves, those 2, until, like, so one day they were, like, one of, I think I bought it in, like, a Humble Pack, a Tom Clancy Humble Pack, and I was like, let's just have a go. And, yeah, I usually play it with them every weekend, and I'm greatly shocked of how addicted I am to that game. It's the game that's made me stop playing PUBG.
I guess we
Unless-
just got an update, didn't it?
Noted.
Yeah,
Noted.
it literally
The lack of NATO.
yeah. If it's not a custom match with like Brendan and Rachel, I usually don't play PUBG because I would rather just go play Siege. Just do it just has that same mentality of like PUBG where you can just play one match or you could play 100 matches. So you may have 20 minutes in the afternoon, you can just play one match of Siege and just walk off, or if you've got the whole night, you could sit there with a bunch of mates and play 100 games of Siege. It's just,
I've got to say, Siege is one of my favorite games to watch on Twitch.
yeah.
I love
The
watching
tactics
Twitch
of it
streams
is
Siege.
insane. Yeah.
Yeah, and just the like crazy like sometimes like people just manage to do like crazy plays, like just like shooting through like little cracks or just throwing a grenade at the right time, and I love how unpredictable it is.
Yeah. It's like a step up nearly from Overwatch of like it doesn't pretend to be a hero shooter, but it really is, because like every operator that you use in that game is its own like ultimate technically, and its own guns, and how you a lot of them play off other characters. Like one of my ones, you can reinforce walls with metal, so usually you can't shoot through them or anything. And my character that I usually use, he can put this like laser thermite on it that cuts through those walls. But if someone on the other team has like an electronic gem or these car batteries that electrify the walls, you can't do anything. But then there's another character that he throws the EMP grenades, which destroys all that equipment. So then if I work with him, there's no wall that I can never get through. And it's just those little tiny characters working off other characters to do these major plays during games. There's just always blows my mind every time I play that game.
That's pretty cool, actually, how you kind of connected it with Overwatch. When you first said that, I was like, what the fuck is he on about? But then you kind of explained it, and I was like, oh, yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Makes sense. But yeah, don't worry, I want to play it, but I gotta buy it.
we gotta get you better internet.
Are there many people playing?
Buying
still?
it's a good start.
It's actually like the population count is actually soaring at the moment.
But how old is it now? It's like at least, I want to say
2 to 3 years
Yeah.
old. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those Ubisoft games where they like released it in a bit of a broken state, and B, Ubisoft servers where like you couldn't get matches, you'd get kicked from matches, and it just fell off a cliff, and only like the hardcore of the hardcore stayed with the game. And then over I think the first year, they built up the servers, they put a whole bunch of new characters in it, and then all of a sudden it's just been this slow climb of like, they played, so then they show me a game, and I'm like, oh, well, I'll buy it. And then now I've forced about 10 other people to buy it, and now I've even forced a few people to buy PCs so they can play it with me, because they played it on PlayStation. So
Flip, did you do that?
Yeah, how are you forcing these people to do anything?
just a beautiful smile and a wink gets you fire in this
The
world.
charisma offensive, I like
Yeah, exactly.
God.
it. Nice one, man.
Natch. So
Well-
yeah, it's just this like literally anyone out there that's like, I need more Australian people to play with me, because the only people I play with at the moment are Americans, so I can only play with them on the weekend when time zones link up and both of us can play together. So
Yet another Hungry Gamers cry for friends. If you play Tom Clancy's Siege, you must hit up Nato here.
yeah, NATO J everywhere, 18 everywhere.
Nato J18,
Yeah.
comma, everywhere. This week, I've just been doing a lot of the usual, a lot of the same. Tekken Dragon Ball Fighters, which can I just say I'm loving Dragon Ball Fighters. It is like I'm not really a big fan of 2D fighters. I was never really a Street Fighter kind of person. I don't know why I like Dragon Ball Fighters so much, because
Did you ever get into the anime fighters? So like Blaze Blue and...
No, I did play Guilty Gear.
Yeah.
I was a Guilty Gear guy for all of like 5.5 minutes on Game Boy Advance. But
Game Boy Advance, Jesus.
Yeah. It was still pretty good. Tekken Advance wasn't so good. But I really like Dragon Ball Fighters. I'm not kind of drawn into get on board with Dragon Ball Super. I know you and I talked about this last time you were in Sydney, Nate. I was going to call you Nate. How dare I? Nato, sorry.
You can call me whatever you want, baby.
Hey.
Get a room.
Saleem's quick question, top or bottom?
Oh, God.
Top, definitely. Top has more fun.
Top has more fun, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised how long it took for the podcast to go this way. All right, go.
Yeah, I think I'm more surprised that you didn't instigate it, Ally.
I know.
Yeah, so Dragon Ball Fighters, just having like a whole lot of fun with my crew there. Still,
Have you played Andrew?
No, I haven't. I'm pretty sure he'll cream
And
me.
also, Perko's been playing a lot and streaming it a lot, so...
Well, there you go. Maybe
Yeah,
I need to like muster the courage to actually lay down some gauntlets.
Well,
on Twitter.
would your internet be able to handle a online fighting match? Because like that's one of the games that you can't really lag in because you need to keep those.
I just want to throw it out there, bro. First of all, don't go taking stabs at my internet. You may be Subiaco's finest, but I'm not going to let that slide.
Look,
yes,
this is more coming from a place of caring. I don't want you to get crushed because your like internet's not handling the frames that there's the 120 frames that a fighter needs to kick ass.
I would much prefer to have that excuse in the back pocket just in case I need it. So
yeah, well, after you whooping by me, you don't want another loss on your skin.
There it is.
Man,
There it is.
I was leading it all the way there. It was a long path.
Hang on, I'm just going to take a comfy seat here.
I'll totally pay that. You, from all of like 20 minutes of playing the game, got to a point where you were on par with me, having played, I want to say, like at least 3 hours.
Yeah.
It was impressive, yeah. But I feel like if you came at me now, you'd get.
Oh, now see look, it's behind the curtains. That's me with any fighter. I get real good, and then I hit a wall, and I can never get past that ever. No amount of sitting in labs and fighting with people. So as soon as somebody gets to above that wall, I'm useless again.
Sitting in
Yeah,
labs?
that's me with most things in my life. So aside from those though, and yes, I'll eventually lose to Andrew and Perko probably as well. But aside from those, I've been playing a mobile Final Fantasy game that I think dropped, if not in the last week, very recently. I don't know exactly when. It's called, and it's got one of those dumb Latin Final Fantasy names, Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know, right? What is Opera Omnia? I'm going to Google that right now. I was actually trying to figure that out before I jumped on today. But in
Opera
spite
Omnia,
of the...
it sounds like one of the like it sounds like one of the what are they called, summons? That's what it sounds like.
Oh,
Yeah.
it actually it means the complete works.
Oh shit! It actually meant something.
Oh yeah, it's Latin.
Is this the one that has all the the characters from across the timeline?
Yeah, it is. So Dissidia NT on PlayStation. So that dropped on PlayStation in January. That's the arena fighter. It's not quite the same, but it is conceptually still all the characters across all the individual games. You play them in like a party of 3 in sort of turn-based combat against computer AI. It's kind of alright. It still works off of also like a similar concept to the Dissidia game, where it's like you have bravery attacks and HP attacks. The bravery attacks are how do I even explain this? It's basically like it saps their energy, and the more energy you have and the less energy they have, the more health damage you'll do to them. And the HP attacks are the health damage. It's really simple. It's really easy to pick up. It, yes, has in-game purchases, but I've been getting along just fine without them, and still having a fairly enjoyable time, like going through the sort of story mode that they've got set out in it. The story mode itself is just this sort of loose plot that contains all of the characters or most of the good characters. I've only seen Kuja so far, though, from Final Fantasy IX as the antagonist. Usually there's more antagonists in these games. There might still be there. I don't know. But basically you go around collecting all the good guys, get weapons, get good, pump some AI, and then go on to the next zone. And it's kind of fun, rinsing and repeating as such.
It's most
Is it
mobile games.
nostalgia fun, or is it actual, like, keeping you entranced without, like, the nostalgia?
I think I'm at the point where it's still like just dead shit novelty, like no thinking, just do this, passing time. I haven't actually ramped up difficulty yet, so I haven't played any of the hard missions. But I just don't think it will be very rewarding. So even though I'm like leveling my guys, I've noticed that all of them still just have like one ability. Beyond like bravery and HP attacks, the characters have like a unique ability, and it's just another form of a bravery attack or a HP attack with like a buff or a debuff. It would be cool if you had more of those per character and the character development was a bit more sophisticated, and that way there would be actually complexity to the battles. I don't think that complexity comes in at a later point. I just don't see that at the moment. I just think it's just that the numbers get bigger, you know, the time that it takes to take down an enemy gets bigger, and you know that obviously isn't very enticing, but it is, you know, it's I don't usually pick up handheld games, and I'm kind of interested to actually do that again. Not handheld, but like mobile games, I should say. Yeah, I will not spend any money on it though, and I wouldn't encourage anybody to do that. I think it would be an absolute waste of your money.
I don't really not buy, but play mobile games. Although I recently jumped back into Pokemon Go. Because,
Hey,
Really?
Yeah,
What's wrong with you?
What the fuck? What? Why is it
Why
bad?
would you- What's not bad, but it's just like I don't know. I don't know why you would go back there.
It's because they're doing like anniversary stuff right now.
Yeah.
So
And
every time
I
they
think
do something
that's-
like that.
Yeah, they're starting to. They're up to now releasing like gated the Diamond and Pearl Pokemon now. So Gen 5, I'm gonna say. Or Gen 4.
Gen 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
4, yeah.
So now they're starting to come out. Like, my missus has still never stopped playing that game. Like, she still plays it on and off since the start. Just the other day, she went up with her friends to, like, Kings Park in Perth, which is the big Pokemon spot here, and did a whole bunch of, like, Rayquaza raids and had
Oh my God.
good old day.
See, I love
Nice.
it because I've got like
Yeah.
American, I like strict American based Pokemon. So I love defeating a gym and just purposely just sticking my Taurus in there because I know not a lot of people would have it unless they're doing the cheating. That is.
That's the Pokemon Go equivalent of posting your American trip photo on Instagram.
Oh boy, and do I? Although mine's mostly food, but is there anything else that's important when you go overseas? It's just the food.
No, it's the
But-
stories. It's the
just-
evidence in the stories.
Exactly right. But like Pokemon Go is like the only place where I can like publicly like beat the crap out of a child on a game.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And in real life, you can give them sneaky elbow if they're trying to
Okay.
take your Dragonite.
I cleaned up a kid the other day real nice with my bag by accident. I have a sports satchel shoulder bag thing that I take to work sometimes, and it kind of sits when it's on my shoulder. It sits right around my hip. And at the train station, this dumb kid came out of nowhere and just got cleaned up to the right to his face. He just ran right into this thing. And it was one of those weird moments where the kid knew what happened and I knew what happened, but the parent didn't. And I could tell that the kid couldn't quite work out how to communicate the pain just yet, so I gapped it straight away. Didn't feel bad though. The kid seemed to be alright.
Just give him like the big stare and give him like the thumb across the throat. Like, don't even tell your parents.
But anyway, this wasn't meant to be the child abuse podcast.
Yeah.
Not this week anyway.
let's maybe take a step back and go back to Pokemon. Happy 22nd birthday to Pokemon.
Oh my god, it was all over the
Pokemon.
place.
Yeah.
Are you going to do a quick question?
Yeah, sure. Saleem's quick question. Which Pokemon do you hate the most?
Oh shit, I wasn't expecting
you
that.
threw me
You
for
like
yeah.
that? You like that?
Oh, mine's easy. I hate Pikachu. I absolutely
Yeah,
detest
that's
that
good.
yellow freak of a thing, and I would tribute that 80% to the TV show because I hate that TV show more than anything. Like I used to love it as a kid. I'll say that. I'm not gonna lie and say I didn't love it as a kid. But Ash is dumb, and I hate him with all my heart.
Old
Grow
Satoshi.
up and get better Pokemon, and stop being a dick to your Pokemon. That's all I'm gonna say.
Wow.
He lets them go at the end of every
Oh, who
season or
does
whatever,
that?
doesn't he?
You be best friends forever. Oh, I'm just gonna give away my dog. Oh, he's had fun. Bye, Fido. Yeah, that's dumb. Nobody
Fido.
gives away their dog.
Yeah. There would be, I'm sure there would be some kind of argument to suggest that they probably couldn't make it out on their own in the wild after being in captivity for so long.
Oh, and they're like nearly sentient as well. It's like, yeah, just
Yeah.
fucking go.
Good luck with
I
it.
think mine's probably Mew. I hated Mew.
What?
Oh.
I hated, like, Mewtwo was kind of badass, and I hated that Mewtwo would go down to Mew. And just, I'm not a fan of cutesy Pokemon.
See, I'm with you because I hate Eevee.
Yeah.
I hate
Eevee's
Eevee.
like, you'd
Pick your
kick an
shit.
Eevee if you could.
Yeah, it's like pick your shit. Like you can't be every single Pokemon. Like fucking pick something, you know. Second one is Squirtle. I fucking hate Squirtle.
Oh, I think that one would cut the B, man. He's a big Squirtle lover.
I'm dying here.
Why?
Eevee and Squirtle are like,
Those
bros.
are your homies.
They're my homies.
I was
love
gonna ask
Eevee.
what your favorites are.
Oh, they're definitely not my favorites. Nah, like
Oh,
Gengar and Houndoom are my boys.
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, Psyduck and Snorlax. What's that?
Snorlax.
I was always a big fan of the Charizard, and
Yeah, you would be.
I liked
You're such a-
Primeape. Primeape was cool.
Because he's just fucking crazy.
He's a pig monkey, and he just cuts sick. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, that is cool. Oh, and honorable mention to what's his name? Oh, what? No, Coughing. That's it.
Coughing.
Because I just love him because he's so stupid. He's a floating gas. Coughing.
Yeah. Is there?
Grown
I know
adults
we're
we
about
are.
to- I know we're about to like jump into the news shortly, but this isn't something I had in there. I was reading like little notes around the internet about more news on the Switch game, the Pokemon Switch game. Is there anything on that at the moment?
It's a whole bunch of speculation and rumors. There apparently there's art of the starters out at the moment, of the 3 new starters for the next ones.
Yeah,
So,
I was wondering what that was.
yeah, so there's a bunch of that out at the moment. There's also people getting mixed up with the actual mascots for the Tokyo Olympic Games because they look like Pokemon. So a whole. At first, I thought it was people joking around, but some people legit thought they were new Pokemon. But yeah, some of them. One's purple and one's like blue, and they're
Oh
mascots.
my god! You know what they look like? You're
There's a
right.
planet.
They actually look like Yokai Watch characters.
Ugh.
I love that show. I fucking love
They
that
actually look like Yokai Watch characters.
show. I love
That's
that
amazing.
show so much. I fucking
Yeah.
love that
But
show.
I think the water starter looks like a platypus, and I can't remember what the other 2 look like apparently. But I have seen 2 sets of starter drawings, so I don't know which one's the real ones and which one's the fake ones. So
Yeah. Well,
we'll
I
just
mean,
have to see.
yeah, we will have to wait and see. I would love. I don't know. I like what they did with like last ones where they basically redesigned Pokemon. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
They could do that again. Cool. All right. Well, happy birthday, Pokemon. Keep that shit up. Going strong. 40 years. Yeah. All right, guys.
40 years.
Great song. Should we jump into the news?
Let's do it.
This week's news headlines.
Okay, so kicking off the news this week, the ESRB, which is sort of the ratings board for video games in America and Canada, are putting a new label on video games that says, literally in quotation marks, in-game purchases. So they're making this step to actually call out on video game packaging where a game does in fact have in-game purchases, not specifically limited to loot box style purchases, but just any sort of in-game purchase. It's not going to be showing up as its own individual rating though, so they'll still have like E for everyone and M for mature and so on. And it's also not going to appear apparently where it would say things like violence or like sexual nudity, whatever, blah blah blah. It's going to be on its own somewhere else, and it's not going to be on the inside packaging either, but it's going to be there on the outside. And the internet's losing its mind over this shit, and I don't get it. I don't know, because people are just
they
like...
have that kind of. They already have that kind of stuff on like the mobile store and all that on both Apple and the Android store. Like that's one of the labels when you get any game these days. It tells you it has in-app purchases. So thank God they're bringing it out to physical games as well.
Yeah, it's a pretty
problem.
Yeah, neither do I.
No.
I think it's pretty reasonable. It's good to call it out. I think it's, probably something a parent would want to know, chief amongst most others. But I don't know, like anything around loot boxes at the moment is so toxic. It's a really hard conversation to sort of get into because you just have people who start up the gambling side of it, and I think we've all probably got opinions on that we're not going to share right now because that's not what this show's about.
I'm not going to share my opinions, although I am surprised that when you said that it was actually not going to sit with all the other stuff like nudity, violence and all that. I honestly thought that this was that angle where they were actually going to put it amongst there to be like in-game purchases, but technically they're saying like gambling, and it doesn't change the rating either. So
well,
I'm surprised.
Well, like an example of a gambling style in-game purchase, recently Metal Gear Survive, we talked about it on our last episode. $10 to get a new save slot, right? So that's an in-game purchase.
God, that's so insane.
I mean, like not directly buying that with money, but you get your little Metal Gear coins or whatever. And so anyway, point is in-game purchase, not related. You get what you pay for. Overwatch on the other hand with the skins, Battlefront 2 on the other hand with the cards, like Destiny with the shaders. That shit is where this becomes toxic, obviously. I think it's interesting that it's not... Well, I guess it makes sense that it's not with the other labels like nudity or violence or whatever, because it's not really about the game's behavior, like, or the content within the game. It's more just a feature of the game.
Well, kind of is, because you don't want kind of in-app purchases on something that you're directing at a child. Because
No, yeah, but I think it's probably, like, in my head it sits on the back of the packaging where it's like 2-player internet connectivity, PS, like PlayStation Plus require, or whatever,
I suppose, but like you want in-app purchases for the parent to see. Like that would be the point of it being on there. So why that the parent's just going to look at the front and see the rating and go nudity. Yep, cool. All right,
yeah.
They're not going to flick over to back because they're just going to see a whole bunch of words and stuff, and they're going to be like, "Oh, I don't want to read that." So
I don't get it though. Like, if we're talking about an age group where the parent has to buy the game for the kid, how is this kid getting access to money to access these like in-game purchases?
it's tied probably to your like Xbox Live account or your PS Plus account.
Some parents are dumb, Ally. Like some parents are really just dumb.
Yeah, because like you might have just like as a parent put your card down on the Xbox so they like you were paying for their Xbox Live, so the Xbox already has in it your credit card details, so you don't want to buy them a game that's going to have in-app purchases because they might just go, yep, purchase, like they do, like the big cases with the phones where a parent's given them the phone and then all of a sudden they've racked up a $900 bill because the phone has the automatic credit card details on the phone, so the in-app purchases are just automatically taking it off the credit card.
No, fair enough. I guess if a parent's stupid enough to kind of let that shit happen and let their kid playing games with it, that is in it, I guess they deserve whatever bill they get.
Yeah. I kind of see this as maybe a bit of a knee-jerk reaction to the sort of discourse at the moment.
Yeah, around Battlefront 2 kind of escapade.
And it wouldn't surprise me if this was like a really hard to find label on on the front of the games because, like, frankly, when I see it, I just think this game's not worth buying because unless I'm throwing more cash than this at it, like, there's no point. Like, it actually really turns me off when I like go through an app store and look for games, you know, on the phone. If I see that, I'm not really that keen. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they do it to sort of appease one side of the world that hates this stuff right now, but also make it really difficult to find to sort of keep sales the way they are and sort of keep, you know, people buying these games without that influencing a decision. Anywho, yeah, in-game currency. It's kind of better than the other suggestion I read last week, where the Rhode Island senator was suggesting a 10% tax on M-rated games to go to mental health funding. Did you see that one? That's not our news.
No.
I'm just throwing that out there. Yeah, that one, it was like, it came off the back of like Trump's comment that, you know, violent video games and violent movies are the reason for blah blah school shootings.
I mean, I'm okay with any money going into mental health. That's just a weird one, that's all.
Well, it's drawing a correlation to video games and basically blaming them though for that behavior, and I don't know. That's a really messy one.
It's a slippery slope because that's like alcohol's a whole different subject, but like the alcohol pops taxes and stuff like that, and now it's like a fortune to buy those things. So I just see it as the snowball effect. If you start taxing games, like even for a good reason, what's to stop them raising that tax and raising that tax? And
well, they do it with smoking here, and like again, it's there's a direct correlation between smoking and smoking related illnesses.
Yeah,
but there isn't a direct correlation between violent video games and violence in real life, and there have been studies that have actually disprove this time and time again. I'm not to say that there isn't some sort of relationship there, but to like pin it on them, it's just sort of, there's scapegoating.
Don't you know they were playing a lot of PUBG before they did the Crusades? They were loving PUBG before they did the Crusades.
Yeah. I think they just need to do the sensible thing. Just give all the teachers guns.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Give lifeguards extra sharks to stop shark attacks.
Yeah.
It's gonna be excellent.
Just use your brains, guys. Use your brains.
Yeah.
Sarcasm, of course. Please don't hit me up and tell me that that's a dumb idea to give teachers guns. Anyway, moving on. Hearthstone. Nato, do you play Hearthstone?
Hell no. I don't go anywhere near card games because young Nato spent thousands and thousands of dollars on his Yu-Gi-Oh collection, so I just stay the hell away from card games these days because I know I'll go down that very terrible in-game purchase route.
You are a wiser man than most. Certainly wiser than a slightly intoxicated Saleem who played Hearthstone. Anyway, look, Hearthstone changes are coming. It's a pretty exciting time for anyone who's playing the game because it's edging closer to April when the standard format changes. We're moving into, they have like names for the years. Last year was the year of the Mammoth. This year is the year of the Raven. And with it comes 3 new expansions. Obviously huge changes to the meta along with that. They're moving 3 of the standard cards, the classic cards, into Wild. So these were cards that previously were in the classic set, and the classic set's meant to be just playable year after year after year. It doesn't rotate out with any of the expansions. The 3 cards are Molten Giant, Ice Block, and Cold Light Oracle, which if you play the game, congratulations is all I can say. Fuck off Ice Block. Been done many times by mages who pull off an Ice Block and then like draw into exactly what they need to win. It shits me up the wall. Molten Giant's getting denerfed, so it used to be 20 mana, then they moved it up to 25 because it was just breaking the meta at the time. They're moving it back down to 20, but it's going to Wild, so that means that Wild should be a little bit more fun to play, and it kind of opens up some of the deck types that previously were unplayable. Anyway, more something that you guys can maybe understand. There's a tournament mode coming.
Yeah. So is that like being able to set it up between like your friends? So you just Oh, okay. So yeah, so like a standard like block format tournament that you could set up between friends.
Yeah, some kind of, well, who knows exactly what it's going to look like. It is meant to be specifically...
Yes,
Yeah, it's definitely that, but
it
no
is-
one knows what it looks like.
Hold on. Let me elaborate, please, you fucking guys. So, yes, it is that you can set up private tournaments to play with your friends, Nato. What I meant to say was that tournament formats at the moment, you pick a whole bunch of decks that you take in, and you basically play your 3 decks or your 5 decks against someone until you lose. Okay. So who knows exactly what tournament style they'll go with, what rules there'll be, double elimination, single elimination tournaments, who knows. But it is coming. They said that is going to be available around the middle of the year. Blizzard, that is, I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I don't really have anyone I know that plays Hearthstone, so I don't know that I have any friends.
I
Do you
dabble.
want me to get it so I can beat you?
It would be nice to have a friend.
I'll get my shaman deck up and running.
Yeah. Do it. Ali, you do it too, man. Come on.
I do dabble. I've still got it on my phone. You know, I still play on train rides.
But are we friends?
Like in game or in real life?
I'll take either.
Yeah.
Ali, Saleem's quick question. Are we friends?
Next
question.
Quick question. The second. Can we be friends?
Of course we're mates, mate.
Oh,
Batman.
you're the best. Love you, Ali.
We have played, by the way. We played in the back of an Uber.
I vaguely remember this.
Yeah, I also
vaguely
remember
remember
just
this.
getting like my ass handed to me pretty much.
I play for keeps.
Here's what I'll say. I've got what, 8 months until PAX. I'm gonna start a deck. I'm gonna start training, and then I'm gonna crush you at PAX.
You've heard it here
On
first.
stage. Yeah, we'll bribe somebody, and we'll just, even if there's nobody in the crowd, we'll just stand on stage and Hearthstone against each other with our mobiles. There was nothing on a big screen. People just have to watch our reactions of us just standing up the front there.
Great segue, Nato. Great segue into the next bit of news, and that is that ReedPop, who run PAX and Comic-Con, just acquired the Gamer Network, which is like a whole slew of online websites like Eurogamer and US Gamer. Yeah.
What does this
how
mean?
cool is that? What does it mean?
What does this mean exactly?
Yeah.
Well, ReedPop just do the big events. So that's kind of what they were about. I know that they have other companies within a sort of broader group that do all sorts of different shit outside of gaming. I feel like I'm really butchering that. Sorry, Luke Lancaster. But the acquisition of these websites mean that they're branching into sort of journalism now. And with Eurogamer and US Gamer, of course, which are, really established gaming websites, they're obviously getting a lot of highly regarded journalists with that as well. So,
Okay.
what it means for the companies in the magazine specifically, who knows? But, this happened, and it's one giant buying another giant. It's pretty cool.
Is there any effect on cool new things coming to PAX? Does that mean they'll have people interviewing people, or will it give them more reach to grab more people for PAX, or...
Well, I would assume typically, PAX, certainly US Gamer journalists would probably already be attending PAX. Wouldn't surprise me if most of the more prominent Gamer Network magazines were already attending them. I know that they also have their own convention. I forget what it's called. But it would mean that ReedPop are now taking over that too, and so you'd probably see some significant changes to what goes into that convention, or they might just decide to kill it entirely, and just
absorb it.
Focus everything into the PAX conventions or the Comic-Con conventions. I don't know. I'm interested to see what changes at PAX, if anything at all.
As long as no one loses their job. But like, if there's one thing we're used to in the gaming industry, is that a bigger company buying another company and then everyone's starting to lose their jobs. So
that happens.
Hopefully this is more just an acquisition, and people can maybe live a little bit more comfortably.
You know
being
what
under a
typically
bigger
happens?
umbrella. What?
Typically, in any acquisition, there's a little bit of redundancy. They try and keep most of the staff if they can, but they shit can the CEO. So, we'll see what happens. Anyway, moving on to the next one. So, is that a too grim a note to leave that on?
Yeah, let's finish on something a little bit more later.
Okay.
Actually,
not the news in general, just that little one there. Maybe I'll just finish it up by saying at PAX this year, I'm going to crunch Nato at Hearthstone.
We're gonna hire
It's
one
on.
stage like out of all of PAX, and we're gonna like hype it up and fill a room just so that
I'll do a panel
go each
submission.
other.
Well, yeah, and we'll peg it as a mystery event. Like, don't even tell them. Like, so we fill a whole auditorium, and then it's just me and you walk on stage with our phone and sit like across from each other. And
You
that's
know
it.
what? I'll give you guys extra points if you cosplay as whatever, like, you know.
What if we cosplay as
deck.
each other?
I'll go as Thrall, like 100%.
Hang on, you cosplay as each other?
Yeah.
If there's one thing, if there's one thing that I learned from RTX is you guys already do that.
Yeah.
we just
Again,
both have good
shorts,
taste.
flip flops, and a button up top. Like,
We're
I've
just
even got like the shorts.
chill. I'm also in shorts.
oh
and
god, they're
tops.
both wearing shorts. Isn't that great?
Yeah,
we just know
short
how to
shorts
relax.
with like the patterns on them as well. It's great.
Yeah. So Witcher 2 Crackdown Fable Anniversary Forza are getting an Xbox One X enhancement, graphical enhancement, which makes it now 11 total Xbox 360 games to get the Xbox One touch-up, Xbox One X touch-up, I should say.
I'm actually hella excited for this.
Yeah,
Really?
which one are you
Yeah.
excited for?
Fable. Like, Fable Anniversary. Like, I want to see what they've done. Like, I love that game. That's, like, one of top 10 NATO games of all time.
Yeah.
The original Fable.
Never played a Fable.
And the Fable Anniversary was really good for a 360 game, but, like, as with every generation jump up, it still looks pretty average now that the Xbox One's out. And I've got a delicious Xbox One X sitting underneath my TV, so I want to see what they've done with it.
How often
Fable.
do you play your One X?
Not that much, because most of the stuff I can play on my PC.
That's all I wanted to hear. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, I'm a PC boy now, 100 through and through.
Welcome.
100%.
Welcome to the
Yeah.
dark side.
Yeah.
Fable 1 was the best Fable, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know
For
what
sure.
the hell happened in the later ones. I don't know why we went to the Industrial Revolution in 3, but, like, I loved just rolling around as your hero. You'd always wind up getting plate armor, and then just like
No, because that's only if
devastating
you play a
towns.
fighter. You gotta go the archer, get the bow from the what were they called, the death cult, that where you had to sacrifice the guy right at the midnight, and they'd give you the
in front of the door.
yeah, and
yeah.
you gotta and they give you the exotic bow. God, good stuff.
Sounds
So
like
there was
Skyrim.
there was
Yeah.
like a trick in this where the fireball spell, you could actually draw the bow and cast the fireball spell
Cast
at the
the fireball.
same time.
Yeah.
We've
Good
played this game.
times.
It's a great game.
Oh, Fable, yeah.
I'm a big fan. I can't wait for it. I wish there was more Fable fantasy games. Sorry.
Well, there's that
Tearing up
huge
now.
rumor that I don't know who's doing it, but that a new company is doing the next Fable now. Because you'd be dumb to sit on the IP, because Xbox still has the IP, even though Lionhead doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. They have it, and if they need first-party games, if they pump out a Fable set in the round about the timeline of the first Fable, like that fantasy kind of era, rather than like Clockwork or / steampunk era.
Yeah.
Go back to original fantasy's huge now. D&D is more bigger than ever. All the Game of Thrones, it's all
ending.
back into fantasy again.
Game of Thrones is
So-
ending.
Yeah, I know, but people have got fantasy on their tongues again. Like it died after like
Jon Snow does.
Well, yeah. It died after Lord of the Rings. Like Lord of the Rings was like the end, the last hoorah of fantasy for a while, and now it's kind of come back in a big way again. So
I didn't get the Jon Snow
I reckon-
call. Am I missing? Am I out of the loop?
yeah,
Am I not cool?
Yeah.
All right. Witcher 2 Assassins of Kings as well. Like, I'm keen to play that again. It's been a little while.
None of those games
Crackdown,
appeal to me.
Crackdown and Forza I could take or leave.
Apparently, Crackdown's really amazing. Like, really amazing. But it's one of the only Xbox only titles that I've just never played or never got into. But I've heard one of my mates from one of my other podcast channels, like, it's one of his favorite games of all time.
That was so vague and unreliable.
A friend.
Sorry,
just a random friend from
Alex Van Aken from the OK Beast podcast
Alex.
network.
You're welcome for the plug.
It's his favorite game of all time, and like he is just pumped for Crackdown 3, and that game's not going to be good.
And in case anybody disagrees, where does Alex live?
Alex lives in Colorado, so go hunt him down.
Okay, that's as specific as you'll get. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. PUBG resets its leaderboards early. We were talking about this earlier, the cheating stuff. You guys are like much closer to this than me. I don't know if you want to maybe kick this off.
Well, you know, you've
I don't
always
know
got
if
that
this
open
means anything.
invite to come back to PUBG with us.
What do you mean come back to PUBG with us, Mr. fucking Siege?
Okay. I still play it with you guys, though. I play it more than you. I'm usually the one harking you to come play at night.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to call bullshit. I wish to call bullshit right now.
Sustained.
I play more than you, Ally. That's all.
Recently?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, for
No.
sure. Easily.
No.
Easily.
Hey, I'm gonna look at Steam and look at this.
Yeah, you're looking up played hours. Can we get back to the news, guys, please? Can we get back to what's important?
Sorry, Dream.
So while Ali looks that up, Nato, something like 2 million people were banned, 2 million accounts were banned through January. And I was reading, I think Polygon had this weird forecast of approximately 4 million accounts banned by the end of February, which puts it at something like 12% of all accounts on PUBG, which is huge. That's a huge amount of people cheating in your video game.
Did they cheaters? Did they make the leadership board?
Yeah, they were.
They
I
must.
think previously they were making the leadership board because the issue was that they weren't able to, to target these guys and move them out prior.
Well, I can see why that's an issue now. Also, by the
So-
way, last game Nato played was Siege, not PUBG. I know I don't chase the leadership boards in PUBG. Lord knows I am so far away from it. But even our most skilled players that we know, I don't think really chase after the leadership boards. So it's no skin off their nose.
Griffin and I don't think I know Brendan's played with Sean, but those two were chasing leaderboards on Xbox, and they ended up dropping off that because one of them got into top 10 and one of them was in top 50, so they were making progress in the American boards, but yeah, I think even Xbox was having some difficulties with people screwing with stuff as well. So
I was going to make a horrible dig, but I actually know Griffin plays really, really well. But I was just going to say it's easy to win a leadership board amongst like no players or shit players. Like,
ouch.
Take that Xbox.
I just think it looks like such an easy game to cheat in as well, though. I know that's really naive to say, and who the fuck knows how, but like when I think of like cheating I've done in the past, like Star Wars the Knights of the Old Republic, on PC you could open up like a text file and just change a couple of integers and your character would run at like max speed, like beyond max speed.
I never got into that.
Like your wallet, like it was that easy. Like you just go into program files and you find like one text file and you change
like,
it. I feel like that's what these guys could do with PUBG. PUBG just looks like a shitty game, like it's that's possible in. I know that's really naive and untrue, but you know, it's fake news, and I want to put it out there.
Oh Jesus!
Jeez.
PUBG, very easy to cheat.
I think it's actually harder than you think to cheat on that game. It's just
it's
because they've got
not that
so
hard.
many people to monitor that
No,
Now
it's not hard when 13% of your player base are cheating.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Now they've focused all of their efforts into doing this to try and get rid of them, because they were trying to stay ahead and get it to 1.0, and then also try and fix the servers because they were having a lot of servers issues. So those were their priorities, and now I think they're like, oh, we've held off trying to solve this cheater problem for so long that now it's overflowed, and that's why maybe they had such a big population, because cheaters knew that they could
Get
they
away
weren't
with
getting get away with it without getting banned. So
Here's my next question. Saleem's quick question that neither of you can answer. Like, where the hell does all the money go? They have made so much money off of this game. Like, surely this is a problem you could throw some cash at and just get some BAs and some devs in there and just absolutely fucking fix this. You know?
Well, I don't know.
I
I've
wrong?
never really paid attention to exactly how their team has like grown. I've never really seen that like written anywhere. But I know that they're overseas, aren't they? They've got a team overseas now. Yeah.
yeah. I think it's the size of the company. I really think
They've got a team overseas. Of course they've
Oh,
got a
sorry,
team overseas.
sorry. Like my brain was in America, and then I meant to say like a team overseas, like from where they are based.
Europe.
Oh, right. Okay, sure. Sorry.
Dickhead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to like nitpick.
Evil host.
Yeah, my body was in my bedroom, but my heart was in my hell. I don't know.
I don't know.
His heart is going
I think
through hell.
this will be their proving grounds in the next 6 months, whether they can clean up their cheating problem, and if they can't, I think it might be a very like bad sign, like a leaking boat.
Scorched earth
like-
policy. Just delete it all.
Yeah, but if they do, I reckon if they clean up their, because like harking back to like we've mentioned Siege a few times, they have this like active watchdog that permanently watches every match, and we've been mid-match where somebody's got banned during that match while we've been playing. So something along the lines of that monitors a match as it's going, rather than waiting for somebody to report it or them to see data. I think it's called like Watch Eye or something in Siege, and every 2 seconds you see it either banning somebody from your match or banning at somebody on that server at the moment.
That's pretty good.
So,
that quick response
yeah.
is pretty good.
Yeah. So maybe if they set up something like that permanently watches during a match, because that's the problem they were having with Rachel's match, that we just had to sit back and watch the cheater. Like, yeah, we could report him, but you couldn't get rid of him or couldn't do anything about what he was doing in that match.
I think like usually she could actually boot them out, but for some reason this time around they were having issues where she couldn't. But still,
that's what I mean. If it wasn't a custom match, you just have to sit there and watch him annihilate everyone through the whole match.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know what actually stops them from creating the new account. Is it an IP thing? Can they like
It's
just
money.
ban an IP?
Don't they have to physically buy another copy of the game?
Is it the game? Is it connected to the... I thought it was an account thing because I just assumed everyone was remaking counts.
Yeah, because
I
I
don't
think
know.
I think the original reason why people were doing the cheating is because to farm that game to get the loot crates to sell the items, because some items were selling for like $1,000 plus.
Yeah.
So
No, and stuff
that
on
was
in
the
there
old
now is a
reason-
couple hundred.
Yeah, and I think it's just leftover remains of those people, because now I think they have new crates in there that you need keys to get. So I reckon they're still just in there because of that culture of you can farm it, get the key, and sell that gear for $1,000 as you go.
Oh, just making all these connections now for me. Thank you, Nato.
This is
I
what a
didn't know why they
seasoned
did
PUBG
this.
veteran can bring to the team.
Yeah,
PUBG veteran.
yeah, that's what he said, Ali. All right, it's official. It's on the podcast now.
That's it.
Oh, yeah, and it came from Sam's mouth, so it's definitely official.
He's one of the best players. He is known far and wide as the Lone Wolf. So
That's a goddamn lie, but I'll absolutely take it. Thank you, Nato. That wraps up the news for this week. Not bad, I think. It was a bit slow last week, but we've got a few more things this week, and I don't know where I'm going with the rest of this sentence, so I'll finish it there and let's move into iTunes Review of the Week.
iTunes Review of the Week.
Should we give this to you, Nato? Give the honor to you to read out the...
Absolutely not. I'm terrible at reading things, and but I'll do it. So I don't even know the format. All right. Well, let's just say it's a fresh, hot 5-star review for the Hungry Games podcast. The user is Hamchan01.
Woo! Hamchan.
What's the title?
Awesome show, 5 stars. And the review goes, this is a great podcast. The crew is able to mix good humor while also being able to talk about serious topics. Each and every member adds their own unique personality and quirks to create a good mix for the hungry gamers. Highly recommended.
That's
Thumbs
actually
up.
a really, really good review, Hamchan. Like, I'm actually really impressed.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's a very kind review, and obviously Nato, they're directly talking about you there when they talk about
100%.
Unique personality and quirks.
Yeah, they're definitely re-listening over and over to the PAX episode, and that's all they listen to.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the...
Arguably
Sitting there with the fingers
least
crossed.
listenable episode on the Hungry Gamers catalogue due to unfortunate technical problems on the day, but no doubt enhanced by your lovely personality, Nato. And Hamchan, thank you so much. We really appreciate the review, and we want to tell you that you're a great podcast listener. Yeah, I don't know,
Yeah.
do we? Guys, yeah, like it's actually really nice to leave a review, and I don't know about you guys, but I listen to like 40 different podcasts, and I never review them because I'm a bad podcast listener.
You're a terrible person. I, as an Android user, went and one day, because I was like, on my podcast tell people to go review my podcast, so I can't be hypocritical. So I went and created an iTunes account and went and reviewed all my podcasts that I listen to.
Aw.
So you're just a terrible person, Sam.
You're a much
That's all I
better,
have to
yeah,
say.
you're a much better person than me, obviously.
Well, like, I just didn't want to be hypocritical, so I thought give it out and hopefully receive it back one day.
I can live with my hypocrisy. That's fine.
Fucking write that on his tombstone, guys.
So thank you very much for leaving the review again, Hamchan01, and please, in spite of my hypocrisy, don't listen to me, don't take a page out of my book. You'll wind up in an early grave, no doubt. Do leave a review for us and any other podcast that you love. It is our lifeblood. It's what keeps us going, and it's obviously, it's really nice and really touching to see people enjoy the work that we put out. We sure as shit love doing it, but it's it can be tough sometimes. I don't know, we don't really talk about the backroom discussions that we have, but Ally can be a little bit mean to work with, and Nato is really friendly and bubbly now, but sometimes he's a bit of a prick too.
I don't think I've ever led anyone to believe that I'm anything nice. If there's anything that our Christmas special has ever established, is that I am far from it. Far from it.
No, Ally, what are you talking about? You're a sweetheart. It's Brendan who's the real
Fucking
piece of work.
lovely. Oh yeah, Brendan.
Oh, yeah.
So do leave us a review, and we're so close. We're like 5 episodes away from the 100th episode of the Hungry Gamers. It's going to be an absolute hoot of an event. We've got special guests coming in. Hideo Kojima is potentially on his way in. Don't miss it. Yeah.
Promising some big things right there.
Brendan
It's-
is throwing shit right now.
Well, Brendan's the one who's got to book him, so get to work. So we've got 95 episodes and 95 ratings in iTunes at the moment. So guys, we need 5 more. I've vowed for like the last 20 eps, or intermittently across, that we'll read out the 100th review on the 100th episode, and maybe whatever else comes afterwards as well. Even if they're bad, wouldn't that be funny if we had like a really shitty, trolly 100th
one star.
review?
Never enjoyed anything these guys have ever produced.
Yeah.
Someone's done it, they just haven't written it. But
Leave some
we always
feedback,
encourage
whoever you
it. Like we said last week, it's just, give us your feedback. Let us know. Is there anything you want to see? Is there anything you like? Is there anything you don't like? Because we can get rid of Sam, honestly. So just write the reviews in. And
I've already got 1 foot out the door, Ally.
damn, son.
That's it. Don't test me. Don't test me.
Hey, I joined this organization because I was promised Sam. So if Sam's gone, I'm gone.
Wow.
Liver right here.
Power play. Power play. Okay, so anyway, I think that's really us for another week. So, of course, you can find all of the 8-bit suite of podcasts. There are a suite of sweet podcasts out there by searching the hashtag 8-bit collective. Nato, you, my friend, are on the 8-bit collective. Tell us a bit more about what you bring to the table when you're not one of the sweet voices on this 8-bit collective podcast. Hashtag 8-bit collective.
I am going to be doing a video series with Brendan called The Hungry Space Cowboys. Me and him going to be playing some Elite Dangerous and trying to survive in a harsh world and get along as little cowboys. And I might be trying to do like a couch fun let's plays where it's more about just the banter happening during the game than what's actually the game, unless the game is just insane, which I have been picking some few insane games, but it's less about like informing you of the game and more just giving you the lols and giving you the smiles for the day.
And what about your other podcasts? Where can we find you?
You can always catch me on 4 Yanks 1 Aussie, the cross-continental comedy podcast on at 4 Yanks 1 Aussie, and you can also catch me on the OK Beast Network doing A+ Anime, where we review a new anime each week, and we try and it's for getting old people that love anime and don't know what the new anime they want to get, or even trying to get new people into anime, because once people start anime, they're like, oh, there's a million anime to watch. Which one do I watch? So
How to anime.
Yeah, it's like a how-to anime. Like, we want to get people into anime.
Cool.
Oh, and I also do... Sorry, I also forgot. I also do D&D streaming, usually on Sundays, with Ally and a whole bunch of people, and then... or a bunch of American mates that I have from across the podcast networks I'm on.
And you can also find you at NatoJ18 on Twitter, and your home phone number is...
665-4211.
Okay, nice. Ali, where can we find you?
You can find me everywhere at Miss Ally Hart.
Okay, and you can find me at Saleem TD, and you can find 8-bit at We Are 8-bit. Go to 8bit.net to check out the full list of what is being pumped out of the 8-bit Hungry HQ at the moment. Again, there's like a shit ton of podcasts that we now have. It's not just the Hungry Gamers anymore. It is everything. I'll be on one of them this week with our good friend Jack Cruz. It is what it is, where we will be talking about like the Duke Nukem movie, and I think like the Never Again movement as well, which I'm really terrified about. And of course, our sponsors, Audio-Technica, powered by Audio-Technica, which I didn't say at the start of the podcast, and I always forget to say at the start of the podcast, which is probably the first thing Brendan was screaming his head off about when he listened to the podcast today.
That's
Sorry about
lashings.
that, big dog. Sorry?
Nothing.
Am I missing anything else, Ali?
No, I think that's pretty much it. I like that you threw that on me, so if we do forget anything, then I get in trouble as well. So I think we can leave it there.
It's all about sharing, Ally.
That's
You got to
it.
share the load.
That's it.
Share
Have an
the load,
accomplice. Share the load.
Hashtag share the load.
What are you guys doing this weekend? What's on the agenda?
There's a pork and cider festival that I'm going to.
Oh my
Oh
god.
God, I didn't know what you just said then.
What?
A pork and cider festival.
Pork and cider is what I heard. Audience
Yeah.
members, prove me right.
Pork inside her.
Mine's
Well,
actually
his
quite similar.
Girlfriend is
I-
in town.
Ouch. Jesus Christ, we went
Sorry,
there.
was that rough? I'll cut that.
No, I don't think it is. Not for Nato anyway. I'm actually going to be playing Mount Your Friends came out with a 3D version, so I'll be playing
3D.
that. I too will be doing some pork and cider.
Nice. Is that going to be I think that's the episode title right there, Pork and Cider.
Pork and cider.
All
I
right.
agree with that.
I'm going to be cutting my grass. I've been trying to do it for like 3 weeks.
Which mate's girlfriend are you going after?
I actually
made it.
really. This is how I know I'm older. I've been trying to like cut the grass for like 3 weekends, and things are just getting in the way. I've bought all the things I need to buy. I've bought like a brand new whippersnipper. I've bought like cables because it's electric. And anyway, look, this is my problem, not yours. But basically, I'll be doing that. I will also be playing, no doubt, more Tekken and more Dragon Ball Fighters and more Dissidia. And I'll come back next week and tell you about all of that and something new. Hopefully. Cool. All right. Well, I guess we'll leave that there. Nato, I'll let you wrap up with the traditional Hungry Gamers ending. You know how it goes, right?
Hashtag stay hungry.
Fuck you. All right. No, you don't. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. And until next time. No, I can't do it.
Well done.
Until next time, much love.
And
Stay
stay hungry.
hungry.
You've been listening to The Hungry Gamers, one of many gaming and geek culture related podcasts from the 8-Bit Collective over on 8bit.net. Check out more episodes on your podcast service of choice. And while you're there, please be sure to rate and subscribe. Until next time, boys and girls, stay hungry.